Alright, so this video we're going to be making a beat really quickly, and it's going to be a little bit different than a lot of the other videos I've done. Number one, because I'm not going to be narrating most of it. I'm going to have like some text explaining what I'm doing, but I kind of just want to, make a beat and have you just watch and listen to what's going on. You're probably tired of hearing me by now anyway. Number two, this is a completely optional video. There's no new information in it. If you feel comfortable with everything I've talked about so far, then by all means, go ahead and skip over it. Really, the purpose of this video is to try to, pull everything together. I've talked about all the individual components like the channel rack and the playlist and the mixer, but now I'm just going to be, showing you what the workflow looks like when you start from nothing and create a beat using all of these different components that we've talked about. So the very first thing I want to do is decide on a scale that I'm going to be using, which is going to be the D sharp minor. And there's no reason for that other than I've heard songs in D sharp minor and I generally like the way they sound. Now I'm going to right click and go to piano roll. Now we haven't really talked about using the piano roll on, one of these kicks or claps or hats or snares. I'm not actually writing in any melodies, which you can do, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to be using the piano roll in that way. It is possible and something you should definitely look up, but for now, we're going to stick to what I've been talking about. I only open the piano roll so I can go up here and go to helpers and make sure that I have scale highlighting set to D sharp, and then we have the natural minor scale. You don't want to use any of these other minor scales unless you know what you're doing. When I was covering, topics in the music theory video, I only talked about the major scale and the minor scale. So those are the only two that you should really be using, starting out. So I'm going to be using D sharp and then minor natural. And all that does is change the background grid here so that all the notes that are not in the D sharp minor scale, like G8 is not part of it, A8, D8, any of these C, D, E, G, A notes are not part of the scale, so therefore I'm not going to be playing any of them. I'm going to be only playing the notes that are inside of these, white areas. So even though I'm talking about the D sharp natural minor, they might call it the E flat natural minor. It really does not matter which one you use. It's just a different naming convention, that's all. But the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is that they have these common chord progressions you can look up online and find. So if you have a D sharp and then this is a little M here, that means that this is a minor chord. And we've talked about minor chords in the past. So that means that the chord progression means that first you're going to play a D sharp minor chord, then you're going to play a B major chord because it doesn't have a little M here, so that means it's a major chord. Then you're going to play a C sharp major chord. Again, there's no little M here. But I'm probably going to be using this one right here, D sharp minor, B major, F sharp major, and C sharp major. And the only reason for that is because it's 4 and I like having 4 chords. And hopefully you'll see and understand what that means better later. But all that means is you're playing one chord, then after that you're playing this chord, then after that you play this chord, then after that you play this chord. But other than that, we're just going to dive in and start making a beat. I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible, so it's not going to be amazing, but it's really just to show you the workflow and kind of how all the things come together and create, a song. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Thank you for tuning in, and that's about all I got for now.